Now, that is just the monetary part of it. Next, I'm going to focus on the income part of it. What happens if the economy performs poorly, if GDP drops? Then you have to shift the curve. You shift the money demand curve, not the money supply curve. Y is written in here. And so what this means is that if the economy performs poorly, interest rates drop on their own. If Y drops, interest rates drop. And so this curve has to shift this direction. Income is not written or drawn on this graph. That means that you have to shift the curve. Anytime something is not written on a curve, you have to shift something. And in this case, you're shifting income. You're shifting this curve. Money demand goes down, interest rates drop. Finally, what happens if the economy improves? This is true for a number of countries worldwide. There are countries called emerging markets that are good investment opportunities. They pay investors a lot of money. Countries, until maybe 2013 or so, they were called emerging markets. They were immense growth opportunities. So all around the world, investors are looking at places to invest. And it's no coincidence that countries with high GDP growth, growing markets, people look to South Africa, they look to Brazil, they look to India, they look to some new markets like maybe Indonesia or Thailand or Turkey. Countries around the world have high interest rates, which is good for investors if they have high growth. So we could draw it like this. We could say that if Y goes up, interest rates go up. So if Y goes up, R goes up without any Fed. So economic performance raises rates. So anytime you hear people say interest rates in the US are going up, this is how you draw. So how do we draw rising rates in the US? You say, well, both of these are combined. The Federal Reserve has talked about doing less monetary expansion and actually tightening the money supply. At the same time, the economy in the US as of 2014 was starting to recover. GDP was starting to grow. You can draw both of these as simultaneous shifts. You can move the demand this way, and you can move supply this way. Both of them combine to make interest rates go up. So when people say interest rates in the US are going up, it actually is both of these combined. Simultaneous shifts in demand because of transactions demand, and simultaneous decrease in supply because of the Fed tightening policy. And so when both of these are together, interest rates go up. This is the model that people talk about when they talk about interest rates rising in the US. So money demand slopes down because of the interest rate. Money supply slopes up vertically because it's an independent relationship, because the Fed chooses the money supply. The equilibrium value of the price of money is the opportunity cost of holding money. It's the price you pay for holding cash. That is R. And so when supply and demand meet, they determine the price or the interest rate. And the shifts in the interest rate are primarily determined by the money supply and by income.